On June the 15th, 1904, an unexplainable tragedy struck. The largest human disaster the city had faced. The General Slocum.
I think that the General Slocum is really one of the great forgotten tragedies of the New York waterfront.
June 16th, 1904, the date on which Joyce's Ulysses is set. He mentions it in Ulysses as something that Leopold Bloom sees in the headlines in Dublin that day. The General Slocum was a pleasure boat like the Circle Line, and it picked up German immigrants from the Lower East Side who belonged to a number of Lutheran churches who were going on a picnic, a church picnic. Families with picnic baskets, 1,500 of them. And the boat got to just about, not under the Triborough Bridge, but in that water just before the Triborough Bridge. And it caught on fire.
General Slocum had caught fire very near the island itself. Certain rumors started existing. Of course, such a mystery would have created ruminations that maybe that some people had returned to the island and are seeking revenge for what had occurred 30 years prior to the General Slocum incident.
A couple thousand people on it, all headed for a picnic, mostly of German extraction. The contemporary news accounts describe a lot of the sauerkraut, as a German picnic, floating away from the scene, all the cabbage from all the picnic that never happened.
People have picnics along the river and they just, put a picnic table on the water just to see how it floats, and of course it would float on over and it would be party time.
An astonishing number of local residents were not only familiar with the legends, but strongly believed that the island was still occupied today, and that islanders were still involved in illegal activity.
This place exists. I've heard people suggest that it doesn't even exist. I assure you, they're there.
I think, in a very contemporary way, a lot of the same things are going on that used to go on. And that is against the law. They are pirates.
They've been there for 3 centuries. They're descendants of that whole crew. It's been rumored that for some of them that have been caught, they're speaking in Elizabethan English.
I have been there. So I know that is still going on. It's still very thriving business.
Pirates, definite pirates, man. They just do whatever the fuck they want, man, and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And the short way. Here, but under this tattoo, one of them on point blank range.
You don't encounter them, they don't encounter you, but then if they encounter you, you find out, what their purpose is.
I don't remember these things. I have been told about these things by other people. One person put his gun point blank range here, the other point blank range here.
They will be taken care of, or they might simply get taken care of then and there.
They tried to do a very good job. Not once, they did it 2 times. That it will make me dead.
And nobody cares. Nobody cares.
So if there were any truths to these rumours returning, that people were still occupying the island well into the 20th century, which by today's standards is an unimaginable existence, how would they survive without contact with the mainland?
It's a very self-sustaining island. They grow their own food. They fish, of course,
Fish is their main ingredient, main dish. Always fish and dates.
They There's plenty of fowl.
You don't have anything else.
Man, whatever you can find, you understand, that moves. Understand, you killing them and you eating, man.
Fish is very easily caught from their own backyard, from their own front yard, from their own place. Fish is their main dish.
The East River actually has very clean water, you know. It's an estuary, and it's clean water, and, you know, they boil it. Doesn't take a lot. A lot of those people don't even drink water, you know. They just drink hooch.
They make their own, that I know, that they make their own drink, which is very powerful drink, that is made from dates, which are the only vegetation or fruit which can grow in those treacherous conditions.
And Joe Kennedy, back in the day, used to run, you know, booze up through Hell's Gate there, and they used to stash hooch on that island back in the 30s.
That is very potent wine, very potent wine. You can give it example of that like vodka, yeah, like very potent vodka.
And that's how they were bringing in booze into New York City. They had women out there, you know. They had a brothel at one time. It was a notorious brothel. Howard Hughes used to go out to the island back in the day. Billy Gilbert, Fatty Arbuckle, a lot of the big stars of the era. They were notorious for anytime they come to the East Coast, they wanted to go to that damn island.
You know, Tony Bennett and all those guys. A lot of celebs love to go there. It's a fun spot. I would love to go there myself.
Because it was wide open. You know, it was money talk. You had the power to get out to that island. You could have women, you could have booze, and it was like a pirate's paradise back in those days.
I know I've had many friends who, you know, I'll talk about the rough water, heavy tides, and the currents and stuff like that, but that's not my experience. Is because I've been on a 38-foot powerboat with twin 375 horsepower engines, so no matter how fast the tide is running against me, the boat can easily handle it.
Exactly. Treacherous. Only the craftiest and the people who would afford powerful motors that could get you past those, you know, killer currents.
We thought that beluga would be a correspondingly appropriate name because the great beluga is black caviar, and it's expensive and kind of a luxury to participate with. So that's the genesis of that name.